Ready to start, Sheikh?
Yes, yes.
I request everyone who is online to please request them to recite for Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Sheikh,
Oh,
please start from here. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Brother Abbas. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم اللعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Brothers and sisters in Sydney, Australia, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Salam wa
We,
rahmatullahi.
we send our condolences to our 12th Imam, Imam al-Hujjah, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif, and to all the maraja, all the scholars, and all the Muslims all around the world on the anniversary of the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, salamullahi alayh. And when one comes to examine the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, salamullahi alayh, you will find a plethora of things to learn from. And you know, for me as a speaker to come and choose a particular topic to speak about, I have the luxury of choosing so much from his character, of course, and how we can apply from what he did to our lives now in the 21st century. This individual, of course, was a pious individual. This individual was someone who was absolutely God conscious. This individual who has sustained this elevated status where he was the right hand man of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he says, "Ana madinatul ilm." The Prophet says, "Ana madinatul ilm, wa aliyun babuha. فمن أراد المدينة فليدخلها من بابها." I am the city of knowledge, the Prophet says, and Ali is its door. Whoever wants to come and enter the city, they must come through its door. And Ali, of course, is the door. Ali is the city of knowledge. And he is an individual who, when he was, uh, when he faced the enemy, when he faced individuals who hated him, those people who had resentment, those people who had jealousy, he replaced it with love. He replaced it with lots of ability to try to calm the situation down and use his intellect rather than using his emotions to deal with such situations. Today, inshallah, my brothers and sisters, what we want to talk about is something that is I am very passionate about, and something I learn from Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, such that it really affects me and disappoints me that in society, and especially in the Muslim world, we have lots of, which is hate. When we look at the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, and inshallah I will give you some examples of this. He was an individual who did not hate, absolutely did not hate. His heart was empty of any hatred whatsoever. His heart was full of love for not just those individuals who followed him, but also those individuals who hated him, those individuals who wanted to kill him. He sent love. And of course, inshallah, later on, we'll also talk about his enemy, his the person who killed him, Abdurrahman ibn Muljim. And as you very well know, when he killed him, Imam Ali alayhi salam told his family, his sons, do not torture him, do not feed him like how you're going to feed me. Give him the same amount of food and water and things like that. So therefore, my brothers and sisters, that Ali ibn Abi Talib epitomizes the the position that we must all take, which is the status of love, the status of peace in our hearts. And there are so many of us all around the world now who have so much hatred in our hearts, so much hatred towards each other, towards family members, towards friends, towards people in society, towards people in mosque. And this causes lots of issues, problems between families, in society, in the community, and also does not get us closer to the Almighty. This is the problem. When you have these black spots in the heart, it doesn't get us closer to Allah. And so therefore, when Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam did not hate, replaced hate with love, right? It gave him the opportunity to have a discussion, a dialogue with people, right? And this is where I think fundamentally we are falling behind and we are failing, in fact, is that the reason why we're not developing as a community, the reason why we're not developing as a society is because we have this hatred. And so when we engage in dialogue, when we engage in conversations, we don't know the etiquettes of having a dialogue. We don't know how to actually have a conversation, how to actually accept the other person's view, because my heart is full of hatred. Yes. So therefore, today, inshallah, my brothers and sisters, I'm gonna go through two certain points. Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam did not hate, and inshallah we'll go through certain stories to prove that, right? And therefore, consequently, he did not hate. Because he did not hate, he also had a very eloquent, very peaceful, very to the point dialogue and conversations and discussions with people. Sorry, 1 second, please.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
My apologies. It's one of the problems of living at home and speaking. Um, So therefore, my brothers and sisters, what we're going to go through, inshallah, is trying to learn. Today, inshallah, I want to learn. I want to learn from Ali ibn Abi Talib, and I sincerely hope that we can leave the talk today, and we picked up this particular characteristic: replace hate with love, and also importantly, knowing how to have a dialogue. Yes. So um, I will start by just trying to explain the difference between, because there are people who unfortunately misunderstand when we talk about hate, right? And they say, okay, what about tabarri? And tabarri is one of the roots of it's part of the part of our faith, isn't it? Right? Part of what we actually have to practice always, right? And so therefore it's part of furu' ad-din, right? The branches of religion, of our religion. And when we say tabarri means you distance yourself. La hawla wa la quwwata. Sorry, forgive me.
The beauties of working with live video. If I could request everyone to read one Surah Fatiha for all our loved ones who have passed away. Fatiha.
My apologies. So therefore, tabarri is when you distance yourself from the you know, the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when people come and say, look, you know, what about, you know, hatred towards the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those individuals that showed so much hate towards our imams, and they caused so much atrocities, and they caused so much evil towards our imams, etc. This is where tabarri comes in, is we distant ourselves from these people. We distant this particular ideology that they have, and their actions, we distant it from ourselves. Yes, and this is very, very delicate point that I hope that everyone understands. And of course, this is my understanding of things, and I hope, you know, I wish that if people want to challenge me on this, absolutely you're allowed to do so. And so when we say an individual person, and I don't want to name, right, because then it will get into a naming thing, and people will focus on this individual. But generally speaking, whoever hates, right, and whoever shows this evilness towards you, and of course, you know, if you want to go back in history as well, tabarri is when you distance yourself. So let's give an example of the 21st century now, of Daesh, for example, of ISIS, right? If we say that we hate Daesh, that actually does not go with the characteristics of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam and our imams. And I'll show you, inshallah, in a bit why, right? Because also importantly, that hatred gives you this, uh, stops you from reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It blocks this nur that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into your heart. Because you will be the only person who will be affected. The other person will not be affected. When you hate, you will be affected. And hate does not translate to something positive. In fact, hate translates to something malicious. It pushes you to cause and do something evil, right? Whereas what we've got to do is we've got to disassociate ourselves from these individuals. And when I say with love, I don't mean actually loving these people, right? But actually putting love into your heart, and sustaining love in your heart. Your heart can only accept love. It cannot accept any hate. It cannot accept any evilness towards others, right? So it's a very delicate point that I hope you can understand, is that I'm not asking people to love Daesh. Of course not. I'm not asking people to love Yazid, or love all the killers of our imams. Of course not, right? But we do tabarri from them. We disassociate ourselves from them. We disassociate ourselves from their mentality, from their ideology, completely away, right? But what we do in our heart is we feel our heart can only accept love. And these people, we cannot obviously accept them in our heart, no, but we accept those individuals who will really are pious, who our families, etc. We accept them in our heart, and we replace that hatred with love, right? That particular hatred that was in my heart, I take it away, and I bring some love from somewhere else, right? But of course, these particular individuals, we do not love them, but we do tabarri from them. That's why in furu' ad-din, in the branches of religion, Allah did not say hate is part of our religion, did He? He did not say hate is part of our religion. He said at-tabarri, right? And it's of course narrated from our imams that it's at-tabarri min a'da'ihim. You disassociate yourself from the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope it's clear, and if it's not clear, then please tell me and I can explain it later on, inshallah. When you look at the translation of hate in Arabic, it says karahiyya, karahiyya. And of course, there are several. There's also shan'an, right? Where I will show you a dua of Amir al-Mu'mineen later. He talks about shan'an. So therefore, and when you go back to kur, right? Kur in Arabic also means qubh, which means sort of discomfort or ugliness, right? And I don't really think this is the right translation of hate, because hate, if you look at it in the English dictionary and you see what's the meaning, it says you mean to feel strong aversion or intense dislike for something. You intensely dislike this. And hate implies an emotional aversion, often coupled with enmity and malice, right? So when you hate, your inner self will urge you to be malicious sometimes. You know, when you hate X, for example, sometimes you wish to see them suffer. Sometimes you wish to see them sort of go through troubles, go through certain situations where they become weaker, right? And that's honestly, guys, we were not created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to think of this, even to our enemies. Again, think of our Imams, think of how they treated people, right? Think of Abu Abdullah al Hussein. Think of Hussein when Al Hurr came to him. Do you think that Hussein had hatred in his heart? If Hussein had hatred in his heart, do you actually think that Al Hurr would have approached Al Hussein? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Right? And inshallah, we'll give examples. Ali ibn Abi Talib, my brothers and sisters. I'll give three particular stories with Ali ibn Abi Talib to show that he had no hatred in his heart, my brothers and sisters, right? So the first one is the Battle of Trenches, the Battle of Khandaq, right? You all know the Battle of Trenches. When the Muslims, from idea of Salman Farisi, they dug up a trench, right? But then Amr ibn Wid was injured in the Battle of Badr, and then he recovered, right? And he missed Al Uhud. He recovered, and he was sort of fresh, so to speak. He wanted to really take revenge of someone, and he said, "Who will come and try to fight me?" The Prophet got up and he said to the Sahaba, and Ali was there as well. And he said, "Who will face Amr ibn Wad?" No one got up but Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salamullahi alayhi. Look at the bravery of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And he was young at that time. There were others who were older. He said, "No, Ali, sit down. You are young." And then he got up again and he said, "Okay, who else?" No one. And then finally, Ali Ali alayhi salam kept on getting up and he said, "I will fight him, O Prophet of Islam." And finally, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave permission to Ali to fight Amr ibn Wad. Now, as you all very know, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam went and struck him. First, Amr ibn Wad said, "Who are you?" Ali ibn Abi Talib said, "I am Ali, the son of Abu Talib," right? And Amr Bawad said, I know your father very well. I don't want to kill you. But Ali said, I want to kill you because you are the enemy of Islam. Remember, he did not have hate. He didn't say, I want to kill you because you're a bad person or you were. No, because you are the enemy of Islam. Right? And then what happened, of course, as you all very know, is that Ali struck him and Abn Mawad fell from his horse onto the ground. Now, Ali was just about to strike Abn Mawad, and then Abn Mawad spat on Ali's face. Ali stopped. This is where our point is. Yes? Ali went forth and back and forth, walked for a bit, did not strike Abn Mawad after the spat, right? After he spat on him. And then after a while, he came back and struck him. الرسول صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. he said, ضربة علي تعادل عبادة الثقلين. Ali, when he struck Ibn Abuwid, is equivalent to the worship of the jinn and the ins, the jinn and the humans. Ibadatul thaqalain, right? It's powerful. And there's so much meanings into this, but this is not the title of the lecture. But what we want to say here is Ali ibn Abi Talib was asked, why did you go back and forth when you hit Ibn Muwid? And he said, because he spat on me, right? I did not want to strike Ibn Muwid because he caused that particular spat. Not because of he spat on me, and so therefore I had this hatred towards him, or I had this anger towards him. No, I went and calmed down. I cleaned my heart of everything. Of course, this is me interpreting it, right? And then I went and hit Ibn Mu'ad. This is Ali, brothers and sisters. You want to be like Ali? Then let's be like Ali then. Let's contemplate from Ali, from the actions of Ali alayhi salam. That's story number one. Story number two, my brothers and sisters. Imam was during his time when he was Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was praying in al-Masjid, Masjid al-Kufa, and an individual from the Khawarij came and was narrations, a certain narrations say, of course. I haven't checked the authenticity of these narrations, but we take the gist of the stories, inshallah. So the another Khawarij came, someone from the Khawarij, and while the Imam was praying, this Khawarij make a mockery of the Imam, right? Make a mockery of the Imam. Then when the Imam finished, remember, if someone makes a mockery of you, you will perhaps start hating them, and become angry. And it becomes very ugly, right? You see the reply of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam just said one particular verse, and he said, "Fasbir inna wa'd Allahi haqq." So patiently persevere. Patiently persevere. Be patient. Persevere. Continue. Right? And be patient. وَلَا يَسْتَخِفَّنَّكَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُوقِنُونَ. For verily the promise of Allah is true. So do not let those who shake your firmness, right? Do not let individuals who could possibly shake you at all, right? And replace it with firmness. Do not allow those individuals to affect your heart. Do not allow these individuals to inject hatred in your heart. Don't, right? Just be patient and persevere. Continue, go forward, right? And we can take so much from this, my brothers and sisters. When we are faced with a confrontation, when there is a family member that is causing us so much issues, right? Don't let them inject this hate in your heart. Allow this opportunity to replace this hate with love, right? Replace it with love. Look for love somewhere, right? If you can love this individual, your family member, of course, please do, right? But replace that particular hate. Get the injection of love in your heart. Don't get the injection of hate in your heart, right? Remove that hatred and persevere. Be patient. I know it's difficult. I know it's so difficult sometimes when you face confrontations and you have this hatred in your heart and you become angry. But what's important, my brothers and sisters, is that we be patient and persevere. And this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, there is lots of stories, but finally, an individual was brought to Imam Ali alayhi salam who had certain views of the Khawarij, right? And they captured him and they told him, what do you want us to do? Imam Ali, they brought him to Imam Ali. Imam Ali said, okay, what do you want me to do with him? And they said, kill him. What's going on? You must kill him. This individual is got the same views as a Khawarij, and he's spreading it, and he's talking about it. Ali said, you want me to kill an individual who has an opinion about something, right? And he hasn't even fought me. Remember, hatred it causes you to be malicious, causes you to actually you want to destroy this individual. He didn't have this any of that hatred, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Salamullahi alayhi, right? So Ali ibn Abi Talib said, what do you want me to do with him? You want me to kill him and he hasn't even fought me at all? They said, okay, why don't you imprison him? He said, why do you want me to imprison him? He hasn't even gone through trial, right? What do you want me just to imprison anyone I want? He has to go through trial first, right? And they said, okay, what should we do with him then? He said, let him free. This is, of course, another narration. He said, let him free. Let him go. He just has an opinion. He's just given an opinion, right? He hasn't fought anyone. He hasn't taken a sword and killed anyone. Let him free. Yeah. And when we focus on this, we find what a beautiful heart this individual has, Ali ibn Abi Talib. What a beautiful heart. If I have honestly 5% of Ali's heart, then I will be very happy. Honestly. If I just have 5% of Ali ibn Abi Talib's heart, this heart of love, heart of peace, heart of stands against oppression. I'm not saying, of course, when it becomes to battle, he stands against oppression like he stood against Amr ibn Wid, stands against oppression with justice, not just stands against oppression with unjustly just killing anyone. No, stands against oppression firmly with justice, with adil. Yes, but for the others, for other times when there is no oppression, right? He is absolutely in peace, right? And in fact, he replies with absolute beautiful sayings, and he replies with absolute peace and love. This is Ali ibn Abi Talib. Now, I'm gonna, these particular nights, right? We are reading so many du'as, and I am not sure if you guys have read in these particular nights du'a makarim al-akhlaq. Yes, du'a makarim al-akhlaq is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, right? And look at what this du'a says. He says in the 34th passage, he says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad وابدلني من بغضة أهل الشأنان المحبة. What a beautiful saying that basically summarizes what I've just been talking about. When we read these du'as, guys, honestly, just focus on the meanings. We don't have to finish everything. You don't have to finish all Jawshan al-Kabir. You don't have to finish Abu Hamza al-Thumali. You don't have to finish Makarim al-Akhlaq. Focus on the meanings. Whatever meanings it gives you, try to take it on board and make it an action point for you. Yes? So here it says, and replace for me the animosity of the people of hatred with love. Allah, that's amazing. Yes, that's what we've been talking about. Yes, he says, change, replace for me the animosity of the people of hatred. There are so many people who hate, who have this shan'an. Shan'an is this hate that people have. Replace that with love. This is exactly what we've been saying. Yes? وَأَبْدِلْنِي. You can go back to the passage, right? وَأَبْدِلْنِي مِنْ بِغْضَةِ أَهْلِ الشَّأْنَانِ الْمَحَبَّةِ. With love. Contemplate on this. It's beautiful. It really is. And when we look also at the letter that Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam wrote to Malik al-Ashtar, right, the chief the chief commander, right, Malik al-Ashtar, we find beautiful passages again, of course. And I don't have time to go over it, but I've chosen one particular passage. He says he's telling Malik al-Ashtar, he's advising Malik al-Ashtar, you know, if you get into power, do this, do that, be just with people, etc. And he says, develop in your heart the feeling of love for your people, and let it be the source of kindness and blessings to them. Talking about love, nothing about hatred. There's nothing about the hatred of your enemy. If your enemy hates you, then you hate them back. No, this is not the language of our Imam. We've misunderstood it. I want to hate this person. I want to hate this person in society. I want to hate this person in history. I want to hate Daesh. I want to hate this person. I want to hate. No, no, it's not hatred. Our language is not hate. Our language is disassociate. We disassociate from their actions. We disassociate from their ideology. Yes, we disassociate ourselves from them. We do not hate at all. My heart does not take any hate. It takes only love. You give it love, I take. You give it hate, no, I don't want it. Hate will hurt me. It will hurt. If you read it, yes, it's not painful as in you take some paracetamol or ibuprofen after that. No, I'm not talking about that pain. I'm talking about spiritual pain. Hate will bring you spiritual pain. Trust me, guys. Hate will bring you spiritual pain. Let's be like Ali ibn Abi Talib and clean our hearts. Now, I want to end with talking a bit about when you do not hate, it gives you the opportunity, my brothers and sisters, to talk and have a conversation and a dialogue in the best possible way, an eloquent way, like Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali ibn Abi Talib was the best of individuals when he was having a dialogue, and he thinks before he speaks. Yes, and whatever he speaks is the words, wise words, hikmah there is in the words of Ali ibn Abi Talib, because he thought before he spoke. Not just he spoke without actually thinking about it and going through in his brain what is the appropriate reply, I should say, or what should I say in this sermon. Yes, some of us just say things, we talk a lot. That's why one of the signs of al-muttaqi, the God conscious individual, is what? Is this individual who does not speak a lot. Because if we speak a lot, we don't usually speak good stuff. Yes, we must speak a little and think before we speak. And when we have arguments, how many arguments do we have with our wives, with husband, with our kids, in the society, in the masjid, with family, and then it translates to hate? This is what I want to talk about. Guys, if we do not hate, then you will see how beautiful your language will be when you have a discussion with people. You will see that you will have eloquence because your heart does not have any hate. So therefore it translates to your mouth and it becomes beautiful. Yes? Let's just go over some of the beautiful verses of the Holy Quran. And I'm just going to Brother Abbas, how much time do I have? Brother Abbas?
As long as you like, Sheikh. It's your morning there and you're fasting. We've had iftar, so it's all up to you, Sheikh.
Oh, you've had iftar. Okay. Right. So I'm just going to share with you.
Take your time, Sheikh. Take it.
Okay, thank you. I won't take long. I just wanted to share with you some of these particular verses of the Quran, and it's the month of Quran, and I wanted to show you in screen so that you can take a note of it if you note of the reference. You see, my brothers and sisters, we said if we don't hate, we can speak properly, we can talk wisely, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Holy Quran how we should have a dialogue, how we should speak with each other. You know, when it becomes like, for example, a Sunni Shia dialogue, we get so angry. Oh, this person, you know, the first Khalifa, second Khalifa. Oh, I'm going to get angry. Baba, calm down. Calm down. Stop having hate in your heart, right? Replace it with something of love, right? And do like what the Quran says. Discuss like how the Quran discusses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this particular verse chapter 16, verse 125, Allah says, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'izati al hasana." Call to the way of your Lord. Just focus on these, brothers, please. I know you might be having your chai. You know, you have your chai. I can't have my chai, right? So you sitting comfortably and stuff like that, but try to focus on this, right? By the way, I missed the Khoja chai. We don't make it here. Inshallah, I come one day back to Australia. I have the Khoja chai.
When you come, we'll have a barrel of it for you, Sheikh. Please.
Alhamdulillah.
You're welcome.
Full barrel. ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. Call to the way of your Lord with wisdom and goodly exhortation, sorry, right? And have a dialogue with them in the best manner. This is where we want to talk about. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. جادلهم. Have a dialogue in the best manner. بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Yes. So there's therefore what? Al-hikmah, al-maw'idha, and jadilhum billati hiya ahsan. These particular things that he says, guys, when you want to have a dialogue, have a call to the way in a wise way. Yes. And there is some maw'idha, there is some lessons behind it. There is exhortation. Yes. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And dialogue with them in the best possible way. And then there's another verse in chapter 29, verse 46. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تُجَادِلُوا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And do not have a dialogue with the followers of the book except what is best. And of course, when he says Ahl al-Kitab, it's not necessarily I only with Ahl al-Kitab I do it. It's because of that time they used to have dialogues with Ahl al-Kitab. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to establish this mannerism of dialogue. Guys, mannerism. What's our manner? How do we actually have dialogues with the people? With my wife. How do I have a dialogue with my wife? Does it always have to have this hate in my heart or anger in my heart? You know, my status of my soul is so weak that I just let it out very quickly. وَلَا تُجَادِلُوا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. What is best? This is Allah speaking. And of course, Ali alayhi salam manifested this particular verse in his actions. And this is really beautiful. I'm not really sure if you have read this verse. What's our defense before Allah? Did you know, guys? This is really nice. Did you know that we can also defend ourselves in front of Allah? Allah, my brothers and sisters, I'm not, as a youth, the youth are not even given time to speak in some of our mosques, right? And you know, the elders, they interrupt some of them, right? Some of them are, mashallah, we gain so much knowledge of them and so. But some of our fathers, let's say, you know, some of our fathers, they don't give to their sons any time to speak, or in the mosque they don't give time for the youth. They say, oh, he's not someone who should be given an opinion to speak to give, right? Everyone should be given an opinion, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, even when you come on Yawmul Qiyamah, I will give you the opportunity to defend yourself. Wow, that's astonishing. يوم تأتي كل نفس تجادل عن نفسها. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, remember the day when every soul should come arguing for itself. تجادل عن نفسها. Even Allah will give us the opportunity for us to have a dialogue. Amazing. It really is. Right. And of course, I don't want to take long of this, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's dialogue with the angels and the shaitan. Guys, it's dramatic because Allah gave the opportunity to the malaika and the shaitan to have to be able to speak. When there are people out there, when you have a dialogue with them, they don't give you time to speak at all. They think they know everything. Honestly, you must know about those people. Maybe you are one of those people, right? That when you're trying to speak to them, that you can't even let a word in, right? They will never let you because they know best. And if you say something that might be against what they say, they get very defensive, etc. Right? This is not the etiquettes of having a dialogue at all. Not the etiquettes of having a dialogue. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the malaika, he's having that dialogue with the malaika, yes? Says, I have created a khalifa on earth and a representative on earth. And then the malaika spoke. قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك. He said, you're going to place a Khalif on earth that's going to cause so much mischief and shed blood on earth, and then we've been praising you and your holiness for all that time? They gave their opinion, yes? And they're having a dialogue, of course, in the best possible way. This is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And I'm not saying, this is Allah, He gave opportunities for people and in the best possible way. And for Adam and for Malaika and of course for the shaitan. And Allah replied back by says قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلم. I know surely what you do not know. And of course there is Ibrahim and his dialogue with his father, right? I can go on and on about dialogue in the Holy Quran, guys, and we just got to learn about the etiquettes of dialogue between the people that is mentioned in the Quran, and sometimes Allah with certain people and the Malaika. Ya Abati, just look at the beautiful. I don't know if there are kids watching today, or probably they are asleep, right? Or even the youth, or if you have a father who is still alive. Look at how Ibrahim spoke to his father. He said, Ya Abati. Not hey, hey. Oh yes. Hey, hey, dad, dad. Just like shouting and things like that. But with a beautiful etiquette. Ya Abati. Oh my father. And his father, of course, some exegesis say this was his uncle, and some say it's his father. Regardless, right? But he says, "Oh my father, ya abati, inni qad ja'ani min al-ilmi ma lam ya'tik." I have been sent a knowledge that hasn't come to you. فَاتَّبِعْنِي أَهْدِكَ صِرَاطًا سَوِيًّا. Allah. Therefore, follow me. I will guide you on the right path. Yes, he wants him. He wants him, and he said it in the best possible way. Look at how his father replied back. Sometimes you have this conflict because his father or his uncle, had this hate in his heart. This is a reply of someone who has hate. Trust me, guys. قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم تنتهي لأرجمنك واهجرني مليا. He said, do you dislike my gods, O Ibrahim? If you do not desist, I will certainly revile you and what? And leave me for a time. وَهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا, leave me alone. The tone, obviously, we don't know the volume of the tone, but it just explains to me from the text that it was a loud tone, right? Where he was saying, Allah قال اهجر لئن لم تنتهي لأرجمنك. I will beat you if you just if you continue doing all this to me. I will beat you, right? And I will absolutely desist. If you do not desist, I will certainly revile. I will revile. لئن لم تنتهي لأرجمنك واحجرني, leave me alone. Maliya. This is the tone with someone who has hate. And then what does Ibrahim alayhi salam say? Look at this beautiful. You know, sometimes when we face those people who have hatred, remember the dua says, change the hatred of the people with love, right? When we face people who have hatred, what do we say? We say, Salamun alayk, Allah. Just Salamun alayk. It's beautiful, isn't it? Ibrahim, what did he say? He said, قال سلام عليك سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. Guys, honestly focus on this, right? What is the reply to those people who hate us? We say, Salamun alayk. I will pray to my Lord to forgive you. This is the beautiful sayings. Not we go back and hate them. This is a language of someone who does not hate. Honestly, if Ibrahim had hate in his heart, he would not say Salamun alayk. He would not say Sa'astaghfiru laka Rabbi. Innahu kana bi hafiya. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is ever affectionate to me. Right? And then there is, of course, there's so many. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّي أَرِنِي كَيْفَ تُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى. There is a conversation between Allah and Ibrahim, when Ibrahim told him to show me how you bring back the dead. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had this conversation. He said, أَوَلَمْ تُؤْمِن, don't you believe? He said, قَالَ بَلَى وَلَكِنِّي يَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. Yes, but you know, I want my heart to be at rest. And then he told him to cut a bird into four, put it in four different mountains and ask for them to come back, etc. Again, this is an example of a dialogue in the Quran. There is so many. I have here lots of different verses, and one final thing in this particular topic is, why do people have dialogues? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this in the Quran. He said, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah wanted, He would have created only one single nation. But what? No, He created different nations, right, or different groups, right? So you know they will continue differing, right? So that they can differ. Yes, its difference of opinion is absolutely fine. You know, it reminds me of this. I don't know if you've heard. There's a narration of this, a French philosopher or an English philosopher. Anyway, a philosopher has said something, and unfortunately came from a non-Muslim person. You know, have you ever heard anyone, a Muslim, say the following? I found it very, very powerful. Right? He said this. He said, "I differ in your opinion, but I will fight to defend the right of your opinion, the right of you having an opinion." I'm saying that again. He said, "I differ from your opinion, but I will fight, and even if it costs me my life, the right for you to have an opinion." Wow, that's amazing, don't you think? Look at all these countries now all around the world, these umara, these princesses, these kings, right? Who can give an opinion about them, right? Remember this guy, Khariji, Amir al-Mu'mineen was the Amir. And this Khawarij came and made a mockery of the Imam. Remember the story we said? And the Imam just could have said like he was the Prince of Saudi or Prince of Imarat or whatever. He could have ordered him to go in prison because he made a mockery of him. He said, "Fasbir." and persevere. Allah subhanahu, he quoted the Holy Quran, right? So it's okay to have a difference of opinion, right? It's okay to have a difference of opinion. Allah has created us to have a difference of opinion, but we got to remove that hate so that we can have a nice dialogue. In fact, we should encourage dialogue, yes, between each other, because Allah has created us to have difference of opinion. Yes, here He says, "Ummat wala yazaluna mukhtalifin." Allah is, people that shall continue to differ. It's fine. Yes. And then, of course, there is the quality of an argument intrinsic man's nature. So, وَلَقَدْ صَرَّفْنَا فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. الإنسان وكان الإنسان أكثر شيء جدلا. الإنسان is someone who is made to argue, to have, to gives arguments, gives difference of opinion, and that's okay. Allah's created like that, right? Right. So, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. So therefore, my brothers and sisters, that what we have is what we went through is that Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam is this individual who did not hate. Inshallah, we've proven that, and there is so much to talk about this, but obviously I've run out of time. And this individual who did not hate, right? And consequently, for not hating, he was individual who had an arguments in the best possible way, who spoke in the best possible way, who spoke very eloquently with individuals, who had a beautiful conversation, who drew people towards him. If you want to draw people towards you, my brothers and sisters, we learn from Ali alayhi salam to remove the hate from our heart. And of course, on these particular beautiful nights, we remember Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam when he was in his bed, in the bed where he was surrounded by his family. And the doctors, my brothers and sisters, doctor came and examined his head that was struck by Abdul Rahman ibn Muljam with that particular poison. And he told him, the doctor told Ali ibn Abi Talib, he told him that it looks like the poison is spreading all around your body, O Amir al-Mu'min. Told him the poison is starting to kill you, O Amir al-Mu'minin. And Ali ibn Abi Talib started to give his wasiyah, he started to give his will to his sons, Al-Hasan and Hussein alayhi salam. And narrations say that Imam Ali alayhi salam's blessed head was resting on Imam Hassan alayhi salam's lap. And Imam Hassan alayhi salam noticed something. He noticed that Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib's head was sweating profusely, right? And he was sweating a lot. And then Al-Hasan alayhi salam took a cloth and continuously wiped the sweat from the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And Al-Hasan asked, he said, "Oh Abatah, oh father, why are you sweating so much, oh father?" Ali said, "The mu'mineen, I heard the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam say, the mu'mineen, those individuals, those believers, when they are approaching death, they start to sweat a lot." And when the family of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam heard this, they intensified crying, they intensified their weeping, they intensified their mourning, all the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Then this is where the beauty of Ali, my brothers and sisters, where we can learn from Ali. Then Ibn Muljam, la'natullahi alayh, came inside. They brought Ibn Muljam inside the room where Ali ibn Abi Talib was lying down. And Ali told his sons, he said, "Give him my food, give him my drinks, for when I die, right, hit him with one hit, like how he hit me. Do not make a mockery out of him." Look at this individual, my brothers and sisters. Look at this individual that had a heart that was full of peace and love. This individual that did not have hate towards anyone, even towards his person who killed him. He gave him his food, he gave him his drink, and he asked not to make a mockery out of him. Then Ali ibn Abi Talib, when it was close, time was getting closer and closer to the time where he will demise, he talked to his family. And once he was starting, when he gave his wasiyah, he says, take care of the orphans, give importance to the holy book. And then slowly, slowly, the ruh of Ali ibn Abi Talib started to depart from his sacred body. And then he said, turn me towards Al-Qibla, where I want to go and say salams to my wife Al-Fatima. I want to go and say salams to Jaddi. I want to go and say salams to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to go and say salam to Al Hamza alayhi salam. And they all were waiting for him. They say, come on, Ali, we miss you, oh Ali. Come to us, oh Ali. And then he closed his eyes. And the Shahada was affirmed, and he departed from this world. His family started to scream, Wa Imama, Wa Aliyah, Wa Aliyah. ولعنة الله على القوم الكافرين وسيعلم الذين كفروا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. We raise our hands to the sky, my brothers and sisters, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to get rid of any hate that we have in our heart and replace it with love. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the opportunity to speak in the best possible way, to have a dialogue in the best possible way. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift the oppression from so many people all around the world, the people in Syria, the people of Yemen, the people in Iraq, the people of Palestine, the people of Pakistan. There's so many people who are oppressed, who are poor. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lift the oppression and help those individuals who are in need in these particular blessed night. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the arrival of our 12th Imam, Imam al-Hujjah, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give shifa to those individuals who are ill, to those individuals who are suffering from COVID, to those individuals who are suffering from cancer, from all the other mental illnesses and all the different illnesses, those people who are suffering on a second by second basis. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them shifa بحق محمد وآل محمد وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على
Muhammad. Thank you very much, Sheikh, for highlighting the beautiful qualities of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Thank you again for joining us. I know during your morning of your fast, and I much appreciate you. May Allah accept all your efforts. And inshallah, we hope to see you soon. Before you go, Sheikh, I'll just share one screen with everyone online that are with us. It's just normally at this time of the year, we collect money for toys to send to countries. But this year, there's a desperate need for food. So instead of toys for this Eid, we're asking if anyone can help donate anything towards topping up the food that we can give. Imam Hassan Central Community has been very generous this whole Ramadan. And inshallah, we ask everyone to please do the best they can. Every dollar counts. It doesn't matter. It's not how much, it's the intent. So your $1 is worth a million. So please give as much as you can and with the heart and the intent as you always do. Sheikh.
Absolutely. I say this, Brother Abbas, that of course, one of the biggest thing that Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam highlighted in his wasiyah, in his will, the last moments before his death, was to help the orphans. and to help those people who are poor. And the least we can do, the least, inshallah, after this, I'll be contributing to this, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Sheikh.
I didn't say this just sort of any out of just arrogance
I
or
know.
anything like that. But I'm saying, inshallah, to encourage everyone. Inshallah, after I close this, I'll go to the website and or to the Facebook page, and inshallah, I will be contributing, inshallah, because every single opportunity you find, even as Brother Abbas said, even if it's very little, right? A few dollars, right? It will be huge and under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you face Ali ibn Abi Talib, inshallah, in the hereafter, you say, I gave what I had, right? And he will be he will be the person who will, of course, intercede for you and will help you, inshallah, in Yawm al-Qiyamah. So give as much or as little as you can, please. These are the nights to help the orphans.
Thank you very, very much, Sheikh. Inshallah, we will meet again soon. I don't think we're scheduled for Ramadan, but I'm sure, inshallah, after Ramadan, we'll schedule some more interactive programs like we had when you were here. And
I
inshallah, to
will be
have
very, very interested to hear what people thought about the concept of hate, etc. But I don't know. Inshallah, in the future, inshallah, we'll have a dialogue about this.
I think it was perfect timing. I think you'll get some great response from that. And I think it was timely that we had something like that there. But inshallah, we wish you well, Sheikh. Inshallah, may Allah accept all your efforts. And inshallah, we'll talk to you soon. And with
Pray
that,
for us. Thank you very much.
inshallah, inshallah. And with that, we will complete our streaming program. And we will see you all, inshallah, tomorrow for the Amal, which will start at 7:30. Thank you very, very much to everyone. Assalamu alaikum.